This one I found to be really interesting. On two occasions in my life where I started taking up maybe a lot more boxing. And so I was new to it twice. And I would start boxing and I would finish a day of boxing. For like 2 days later, I would be sore in between my shoulder blades. And it made no sense to me. Why would I be sore in between my shoulder blades? Because I'm not like swinging back. I'm not elbowing people behind me where I'm retracting. Why am I feeling so much tightness in my mid traps? And then I realized it is usually the deceleration of force that tends to cause more soreness. And so as I punched and I protracted forward, then my middle traps would decelerate how fast I protracted. And that would then stimulate those muscles. And then, jumping right into a class that I wasn't used to and going hard in the paint, because if I'm going to jump into a boxing class, I'm going all out. I was sore in between my shoulder blades because my mid traps were decelerating protraction, not because I was actively retracting. But what do they do concentrically in the scapulothoracic joint? They create retraction, they decelerate protraction. And now we're left with one final muscle. It is the, portion of a muscle. It's all the traps, but the lower traps have different joint actions as well. Now, if we look at the joint actions on the lower traps, you'll also see that retraction is part of what their job is. So upper, middle, lower trap, the entire trapezius complex, they all assist with retraction, bringing the shoulder blades together. But here's something I thought was really interesting. The upper traps do upward rotation, and so do the lower traps. And that one was a little mind-boggling for a little bit, because I know like upper traps do elevation, they shrug, and the lower traps depress. So the upper traps do one joint action, the lower traps do the opposing joint action. Elevation, upper traps, depression, lower traps. Get it? But why? Why, oh, why do the upper traps do upward rotation and the lower traps do upward rotation? How does that work? And it's really based on, again, its origin and insertion. If you look at the lower traps, it's going to be the spinous process of T5 through T12. So all the thoracic spine from the fifth vertebrae all the way down to the last thoracic vertebrae. And then it goes to the superior spine of the scapula. And because it goes to the superior spine, so it goes along the medial border of the scapula and kind of wraps around and grabs on top of the spine of the scapula. So as it pulls down, it actually rotates the scapula up. And of course, the upper trap goes onto the lateral border of the scapula, and it will rotate the scapula up. So both of these muscles do upward rotation of the scapula.